So my dad was born in 1941 in a mining village in Yorkshire. His dad had died when he was very young, and so he was brought up by his mum and extended family. During his school life, he really enjoyed sport. He loved to watch and play, especially rugby and cricket. And then after school, he went to college to train to become a teacher, eventually becoming a head teacher for a special school who looked after children who had additional needs that their parents couldn't cope with at home. And then when they retired, Mum and Dad moved to Norfolk, which was about 4 hours drive away from myself and my brother. But we used to go there during the school holidays and take the grandkids, and Dad used to love taking them to the beach, to the dinosaur park. He used to love playing with them in the garden, pushing them on the swings, kicking a football around the garden with them. He used to love it. About 10 years ago, Dad's memory started to decline. Just small things at first, like he'd offer you a drink and then forgot what you'd asked for. And then eventually we persuaded him to go and get it checked out, with the promise that if you catch it early enough, they can do something about it. And in 2018, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. He didn't really accept the diagnosis at first. He banned the word Alzheimer's from home, and that's made it quite difficult to get care in place for him. He'd always been the one that looked after everyone else. I think he was scared. He was the one that had done the finances, organised everything around the home, hosted people. He loved having people to visit, visitors to come to the house and things like that. And now it was all just confusing. And he was scared. I just couldn't cope. Mum coped really well looking after him, but over the last 10 years she's had her own health issues. She has osteoporosis and has had several spinal fractures, which were extremely painful, but even with those she managed to carry on and cook meals, clean the house, support my dad. She's a very stoic person, very brave, but it was becoming too much for her. She was losing a lot of weight. She'd become exhausted. She was looking very frail, and we were really, really concerned. She kept saying that she could manage, but Dad just kept refusing, saying he could manage and he could look after Mum. Clearly he couldn't. About 3 years ago, Dad's eczema had a massive flare-up, and it was so severe that they were talking about putting him into hospital for treatment for it. And at that point we were able to take our opportunity to contact Home Instead and see if they could help. Thankfully he took to them straight away, and you could quickly hear them laughing and joking, and they were putting him at his ease, chatting away about his family and his past, which he loved to do. Mum immediately felt like a weight was lifted off her. She became friends with the carers, and the emotional support they gave her was just superb. It wasn't something we were anticipating when we invited them to help, but it has been amazing. They are super friendly people who genuinely care about the people that they look after. We've been amazed by how many lovely people that Home Instead have managed to find to be carers for Dad. The carers really do understand how to communicate with people with dementia, and how to deal with them. Our carers have all quickly understood Dad's needs, his interests, his preferences, his sense of humour, and what approach works best for him. And they've adapted that approach for the different moods Dad is in on any given day, and that's been wonderful. They've also freed up some time for Mum, so that she can now go and get some treatment for her back, and also have some time just for her, so she can go to the shops, have her hair done, go to the cafe and eat some cake, and rediscover herself as a person rather than just as a carer. They've also been amazing with Dad, giving him treatment with dignity, and with the humour that he so loves. And the difference they've made to his skin has been amazing. It's just absolutely incredible. They've also engaged him with jobs around the house, And that's really helped to boost his sense of value, contribution, his confidence, and helped him to really be stimulated and engaged with people and life and the world around him, really. Dad trusts the carers, and you can often hear them laughing and joking and chatting. He has been really settled since they've been with us. They'll often take him out for a trip to the garden centre or for a coffee and a cake. For me, the app has been incredible. Living so far away from them at that time, I was able to log in every day and see what the carers had written, so I could tell if Mum was tired or Dad was cranky that day. And it just helped me be able to keep in touch with them and have peace of mind, which is just priceless. Looking back, I wish we had found Home Instead sooner. I think if you can get somebody on board before you're at your limit, it'll help you maintain your strength. It'll give you a chance to maintain your own sense of self and your own hobbies and interests and your own health, and that is so important. So I think if we were to go back again, we'd definitely get Home Instead on board sooner than we did. Ultimately, it's helped us keep Dad at home for longer with Mum, and that's just what he wanted. He'd always wanted to be at home with Mum if he could. We certainly wouldn't have been able to do that without their help. Mum has found so much strength in their support that she's been able to cope better with Dad. She feels optimistic. She's looking forward to life again, and she would describe it as having hope now, which she hadn't had before. Knowing that they're both looked after so well means the world to me. I can't recommend Home Instead highly enough. They are such lovely, caring people who genuinely care about the people they're looking after, not just Dad, but Mum as well, and me. I feel supported in that way too. And it gives me so much peace of mind knowing that they're so well looked after and that somebody's looking in on them every single day. That's been amazing. The carers are amazing, but the communication and the organisation is also fantastic. There isn't a thing that I would change about our experience of Home Instead. They are genuinely lovely people, and we really do feel lucky to have found them.